The bell above the glass door chimed softly as Ethan Miller rolled his wheelchair into Brightline Electronics on January 1st, 2026, New Year's Day. Outside, remnants of last night's celebrations still lingered. Confetti clung to sidewalks, and a faded Happy New Year banner fluttered in the cold Ohio wind. Inside, the store felt quieter than usual. Fluorescent lights hummed. A half-deflated silver 2026 balloon floated near the ceiling. For many, the new year meant resolutions and fresh starts. For Ethan, it meant survival. His old laptop had finally given out just before midnight the night before. As a freelance graphic designer living with partial paralysis from the waist down after a spinal injury, his laptop wasn't just a device. It was his independence. Starting the year without it felt like beginning 2026. Already behind the counter stood Melissa Grant, a saleswoman in her late 20s, scrolling through her phone. Her expression carried the fatigue of someone forced to work on a holiday. She glanced up briefly, her eyes flicking from Ethan's wheelchair to his face, then back down again. Ethan waited. 5 long minutes passed. The door opened again. A well-dressed man stepped inside, shaking off the cold. Melissa's demeanor shifted instantly. She smiled, locked her phone, and walked past Ethan without acknowledgement. "Happy New Year. What can I help you with today?" she said brightly to the man. Ethan cleared his throat. "Excuse me," he said calmly. "I was here first. I just need help choosing a laptop." Melissa exhaled sharply, irritation obvious. "I'll get to you when I can," she muttered. The man hesitated. "Actually, he was here before me." Melissa forced a smile. "Sir, this will only take a second." As she rang up the purchase, Ethan noticed the familiar feeling settle in, the sense of being invisible. Fireworks might have lit the sky the night before, but moments like this reminded him that nothing magically changed with a new calendar year. When the man finally left, Ethan rolled closer to the counter. "I'm looking for a lightweight laptop," he said. "Something strong enough for design software. I also need help reaching." Melissa cut him off. "This isn't a charity event," she snapped. "If you don't already know what you want, maybe bring someone who does." The words stung. "I do know what I want," Ethan replied, keeping his voice steady. "I just need assistance." Melissa glanced around the nearly empty store. Then, with a cruel smirk, she leaned forward and flipped him off, her middle finger raised clearly, deliberately. Time seemed to stop that a mother browsing chargers gasped. A teenage employee froze mid-step. The silence felt heavier than the cold outside. Ethan didn't raise his voice. He didn't insult her. "I hope," he said quietly, "that this new year teaches you how much kindness matters, especially when someone already feels like a burden." He turned his wheelchair and headed for the door. What Melissa didn't know was that the suited man from earlier, Daniel Brooks, a corporate compliance manager, had still been nearby. Hearing the tension, he'd recorded the encounter on his phone the evening of January 1st. The video was online January 2nd. It was everywhere. Headlines flooded social media. New Year's Day discrimination. Disabled man humiliated in electronics store. Saleswoman's cruel gesture sparks nationwide outrage on Jan 1st, 2026. Brightline Electronics issued an apology before midnight. Melissa Grant was terminated within 24 hours. But the new year brought something else, something unexpected. 3 days later, Ethan received an email from Daniel Brooks. Along with an apology came an offer. A fully remote design position, adaptive technology provided, full benefits, and flexible hours. "Let this be the year things change," the message ended. Ethan accepted. Brightline announced company-wide disability awareness training and donated to disability advocacy groups as part of a public commitment to start 2026 differently. Weeks later, Melissa received a letter. It wasn't angry. It was from Ethan. He wrote about losing mobility, about learning patience, about how the first day of a new year can reveal who we truly are. "I don't believe January 1st makes us better people," the letter read, "but I believe it gives us a chance to be." Melissa cried, not because she lost her job, but because she finally understood that on New Year's Day, 2026, one act of cruelty went viral, but so did accountability, dignity, and the quiet power of grace.